Hey y'all, Johnny Glock here. I'm gonna do a video today, and I don't really know, it's gonna take maybe morph a little bit. Um, I got a couple guns that I want to show you, and I want to talk a little bit of, I don't know, maybe you could call it philosophy or something like that. First, I want to let you see that there's nothing on my sleeves. I'm gonna put my sleeves up now. Okay, so I'm a manual therapist as well, which means I work with the body, and I help people with like bad backs or hips that are torqued and scoliosis, all that kind of stuff. And I'm still licensed now. I've been doing that for like 20 some years. I like it because it's all based on really cool geometry, like tensegrity structures and levers and all that kind of stuff. You can look at the body mechanistically if you want, but the reality is this is something I had to learn after a while, that the body is not linear or logical. We try to take snapshots of it and put it up on a wall chart and say, this is how you should look. And the reality is, like for me, you would see me turn to the side here, my ears are way forward to my shoulders. Actually, they would say I had military neck because I'm like this. You're not going to change that, I'm way too interested in stuff, so I'm always going to be out here like this. And so it's the same thing kind of with guns. Every gun has its own inherent sort of thing going on, and so a lot of times when people send me their guns, I work within those parameters because I know better. Because if I try to force something into that pistol that it's really not integrating, and I can see that I'm forcing it, then it's just going to be a botched job. And I'm not getting all hippie here or anything like that, but these guns have, like I said, they have a quality to them. I know they're not animated or anything, but I try to, someone was calling me the Glock Whisperer and stuff like that. I've also been called the Kaiser Sose of the Glock trigger world, which I thought was pretty cool. If any of you watch Usual Suspects. But I pay attention to those things. And so with that said, I got two guns that are really cool here, and they just came in, and I did trigger work on the one, and now this is like the, I don't know, 20th Overwatch precision trigger that I got in. And it's interesting because I've seen the way they function. I max them out to function as well as they can, and what you guys asked me to do via emails or usually phone conversations is the best, because you can kind of get the nuances. I recently sent a trigger to someone, and I was able to watch, he's got a lot of videos, I was able to watch his videos and see how he's shooting to actually give him the best trigger that I could for a drop-in option. And if you watch someone shoot, you can see a lot of stuff. You can see slap, you can see how they're controlling the trigger, how they hold their gun, all the attributes that are built into a trigger. And since I do shoot and I know those things, it makes a huge difference. And those are like the three, like the last time I said, your responsibility, your gun, having mechanical inclination, understanding the system, and then actually shooting. So you can actually incorporate, you can integrate it into everything. Like that's kind of like the triangle. So you understand all these different aspects. How someone might want over travel built in, how someone might want to keep a lot of pre-travel and have that pre-travel really slapping back because they're slapping the trigger and they want to work it a certain way. So that's why the phone conversations are good. I mean, if you're spending, somewhere around $300-400 to send your gun to me, you want it done right. And those of you that have know we have these conversations back and forth on the phone, and do videos and stuff like that. So, so there's transparency. Everyone sees what I do. I don't really have too many, I have trade secrets. You won't see them, but, I'd like to give away some information. So to make everyone, that's doing this, that's an enthusiast, give them a little shot in the arm, man. Help them to try to push and learn some more things. Not that I'm the beginner or end all of this kind of stuff, but I really, it's a matter of, like, I just like to share it. I love to share this kind of knowledge because I think it's important, and I know what the bug is like. I know, a lot of you guys have that same sort of thing. You get into triggers, and you get in there, and you're like, oh man, I guess I get people that are frustrated. I've played with every part. I've done this. I've done that. I'm just going to send you my gun now, you know, or I want you to build me a drop-in. And, you know, it's a learning curve. So anyway, I'm going to drop this down and show you I got another Overwatch Precision shoe in. And came out, you know, really, really tasty. So I'm going to show you some things about it. And then I got another trigger in. This is the first one I've got of this. I think it's SSVI. It's a titanium trigger. It's really sweet, cool looking. You know, the barrel's the same thing. I guess it's, I forget the name of the type of titanium, but you know, I have it marked up there so you can see, you know, where this gun is sitting. So that, you know, there's the pre-travel. There's the wall right there. I give it a little, you know, and you can see, and then breaking all the way back there. Okay. And then we're gonna reset. Try to go slow right there. Now I do that little bit of take up right there because it's not fair to go like all the way back out. Sometimes when you reset it goes back out. So, but that's, you know, right where it's sitting, and you can see that line, and then breaking back there. So I'm gonna really clean this up. And look, this is a cool gun because this is an RTF1. You don't really see these too often. Glock actually took them off the market because they were tearing everyone's shirt and clothes and everything up. But you know, it's a gun from the Gen 3, mid Gen 3. So it's the RTF2 is what they call, is what they have on the Gen 4s. This is RTF1. It's like a cat tongue, man. It's really cool. But it's aggressive in a very interesting way. Okay, so then here's the Overwatch that I got in. And I'm gonna back that up. Okay, so as you can see, I'm using the end of the tape here as the marker for where. Yeah, there we go. The marker for where it's sitting as far as pre-travel, and then your pre-travel stops, as you can see, right there at the first line. It's kind of hard to get a. Okay, so the first line is, so that's your pre-travel right there. It's a nudge, it's like 1/8 of an inch right there. But now, watch how short, and this is how the guy wanted it, a very short, quick, crisp break. And you can see as I'm pushing down, it's just pressure. There's not much movement gonna happen here and here. I'm gonna back it up so you can really see. Break. And it has not, it's right on that. Actually, I'm gonna bring this down, because it's gonna be probably better focused here for you, and I want you to see this. All right, so, yeah, there we go. So I'm using the line, the edge of the tape there to show you where we start, all right? And then that's the pre-travel right to there. So I'm on a nice defined wall. These are the things like I'm not telling you. There's a certain type of connector in there. There's a certain type of spring. I'm doing things a certain way in there with the transfer bar and all that to get this very short but defined wall right here. This guy's going to be shooting combat style, taking a lot of classes and stuff like that. So he wants a very quick tactile break. So from here, with the press, you can see it is basically like a 1911 trigger. It's not all that movement. It's just pressure that you actually feel. Now that has to do with the the internals and the way I've designed this trigger. Now let's take it back, and you'll be able to see, like, okay, so it resets a hair past the thing, but when I come past the line, when I come back in, there's the wall. So the actual break is right there, no over travel whatsoever, and you can hear it's quite clicky too. Nice reset, break. All right, now see how it's hanging up just a little bit? Here's what's interesting. If I hold the slide up in the air, which mimics your magazine being in there and ammunition, that's not going to happen. But however, since I'm feeling that, and this is a good for you guys to see, because I'm going to open the gun up, and since I have a set screw in the back here that's doing over travel, it can, like you know how my competition groups are, I am literally going to take this out. Can we get in there? So you can see this. Okay, we'll get it nice and focused. I'm just going to take it out about that much. That's all the more I'm going to need to have it not hang up even without the back, with the upper pressure on it. So now let's see how it functions now. Right there's the wall. So now you can see there's no, okay, let's get it back to the wall, break. You can see there's really no, and I think I'm moving this tape now at this point, but you did see where it was before. So, and this is a conversation, wall, break. Reset, back to the wall right there. You can see those points are lining up, break. Man, that is, and you can see, just literally watch the trigger shoe. So I'm right here, and you can see when my finger tenses up, I'm applying this pressure right here. Now watch, it's like pressure, pressure, pressure. It's not like this gun where you're pull, 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 break. Come right here, pull, break. So this has the brake itself is crisp, but you just have a lot of movement in between there to get a 2 brake. And so I'm going to take care of cleaning this gun up. These lines here are going to look very similar, to these lines, and you've seen, oh, where'd they go? They actually rubbed off. Dang it. Okay, we're going to have to mark it again, because there was something I really wanted to show you with this. Oh wait, they were there. I thought they disappeared. But anyway, so you guys actually saw that this was the brake. So I want to now turn on my micrometer, and we're going to we'll put it on fractions, and I'm going to actually find out how much this brake is. Alright, so line to line right there, and you can see they're lining up, is 7/64ths, which if I would pop it just a little bit more, you'll see it change to a 16, let's see, no, to an eighth rather, I'm sorry, to an eighth. So it's under an eighth. Let me get that back over there so you can see it. So it's right, we'll just say right about an eighth just to be over. So, this is a quick, fast, predictable trigger. Now this person has smaller hands, so he said he even wanted it to start back further, which, as you can see from this gun, it is starting back way further. Like, he's not going to have to get into the guard and take up all this stuff and reach for it. And I can go behind there too. He's going to basically go into the guard, and he's already going to be there. And that's a significant difference in the two. If you could see, put them side by side. That's kind of hard to see. People sometimes do these kind of things, but it's really hard to match that up in a way that's gonna really speak to you. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Nah, not even that works. What if I was like, so you can see mine is anyway. This is just, I just like to show this kind of stuff, and this all happens because of the type of connector I'm using, the type of spring I'm using, and you have to know those combinations, and that's really where, the understanding comes in. And this gentleman had one of these lone wolf triggers, and it has a lot of play right in here, and it's, the design is the design. I never talk on, good or bad on any of these companies. It's just, they're doing what they're doing, because everyone has their own feel and opinion. If you find yourself levitating toward me or gravitating toward me, that's cool. But far be it from me to sling mud anywhere. So this is and I love Lone Wolf stuff. This is Lone Wolf's Ultimate Trigger Assembly. I think UAT Ultimate, something like that. But anyway, he wanted something like an Overwatch, so we put that in there. And also, this is one of the bars that came out of there. I had to take it out and use my bar, because there's no way, if you go back into pre-travel with this, there's just no way you're not going to be encroaching on the safety plunger. And you can see that right here with, I'm going to really try to get, okay, see all those marring points right here, all along there? That's dead. That could be two things, but it could be either the safety plunger is being hit by fire pin push through because it's hitting it too hard at the shelf. You know, like usually you see that with a lot of lightened plungers. With this, it's because a little bit of with these Overwatch Precisions, pre-travel is soaked up a little bit enough that it encroaches sometimes on this safety plunger, and you can see all those markings there. That is just not something that's made up. And that basically comes from the shelves of the striker. I'm going to try to grab one of that. Actually, wait a minute. I have one right here that I think I can pull out. Okay, so it especially comes from these strikers. These lightened strikers, if you look right, you can see where, yeah, right there. And I've shown this before. You can see right there where there is a marring point right there. Even the TIN finish is worn off, but that's what happens. Like, see how it's just right about there too. It's back it out. There's a demarcation on that. That is these two pieces. Man, this is hard to do. Never mind, I'm not going to do it. You understand? It's these two pieces coming together. So if I set this down like this, I'll bring this behind it. That's how it sits. So when it depresses like that, it can push the whole way through. But what happens is if this is encroached upon, sometimes it'll sit in this position, or as it's coming through, it won't be depressed completely, and you have that little mar, and then you have all this. I took this actually out of this gun, and over time, that causes problems. So it's things you have to look at, all these different things, like I said, with the system that you have to know that that count. I've always said that which glitters is not always gold. There's a lot of stuff that's so shiny and whatnot. It's pretty to look at. That's right, this gun comes from California, so we have the nice 10-shot magazine. Anyway, I hadn't done a video for a while, so I wanted to put some stuff up. The next video you'll see will be me finishing up this SSVI trigger. And I think it's called Tyr, like the god of war for Norse mythology. My kids study that in school, so as soon as I saw it, I knew it was. Basically, I'm going to work this trigger and see if I can't get it to function the best for the way the gun is. I don't want to like force anything into these guns. Most of the time they just work out, and that way, they're going to work out for the shooter perfectly. And usually a lot of people want to take these guns down to like 2 pounds, 2.5. It's just not the best way the gun functions, And usually my triggers, that like if you do the pull thing on them, even if they read 3 or 3.25, they literally feel like 2. So it's one of those things where smoothness, and I've said this before, smoothness trumps everything. And it's not even like smoothness sometimes. Like it's people want that click, but they want things to work very like this. That the guy kept saying mechanical. I want a mechanical trigger. I get it. I know exactly what someone's talking about. So with this trigger right here, very mechanical. So it's predictable. He knows where he's going to be. This is a really cool modification too. I don't know if you saw that. That got taken away right up there. And that feels really interesting in the hand, I'll have to say. I really like that mod. I've never seen that one before. And you can see the difference on this one. It's just not there, So the person that did that came in here and took all this away, and that sort of gives a perceived feel. It gets you a little bit further under the in here, but man, it's just like a really nice feel for my thumb right here. It's just, you really get into this gun. So anyway, Johnny Glock here. Website www.johnnyglocks.com. The phone number is 941-376-4383. You can email me at getjohnnyglocks. Make sure you do Glocks. getjohnnyglocks@gmail.com. I'm going to be taking off on a vacation here in about a week, so things are going to slow down a little bit, but when I get back I'm going to have some pretty cool news for you that I've been working on, and finally getting to get my own thing rolling as far as a shoe and a connector and stuff like that. I'm working with someone, I think I've mentioned that before, but it's actually coming to fruition. So I think I'll have some of those, a handful of those first prototype of the connectors, and that's going to be freaking awesome, because it's going to be a connector that hasn't been done yet. What else would you expect? Anyway, everyone take care, and look for the next video when I get this bad boy, this one, set to where the shooter actually wants it. All right, take care. Have a great day.